Let's fucking go.
Welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I am here to review Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Episodes 2 and 3. So Marvel yesterday dropped 2 episodes for Daredevil Born Again, and all for like the past week, maybe past 2 weeks. Some people have seen the entirety of the series ahead of time. Some people actually, if I remember correctly, there's 8 episodes, and most of the reviewers got like anywhere between the first 3 and the first like 6, something like that. So basically everybody who reviews shows, who's like professional scoopers and all this stuff, like a lot of people in the industry who do this for a living, have either seen the entire season or like the first half of the season. So for weeks, people have been saying the same thing, which is after episode 3 that it just gets insane. And like the insane swing starts in episode 3. Like the episodes 1 and 2 are still balancing the whole Born Again and are still trying to find the mixture between Born Again, the Born Again show and the old Netflix show. And everyone said it. Episode 3 is when the official "this is going to be one of the best MCU shows ever made" campaign starts. So I was very excited to see what, particularly episode 3. Admittedly, I was very excited for episode 3. Not that I wasn't excited for 2, but 3 in particular, because I was just like, dude, it just seems like everyone's talking about it. And I can confirm right here and now, episodes 2 and 3 are awesome. It just gets better and better. Like, it literally, if you watch episodes 1, honestly, I'm debating if maybe they should have released the first 3 episodes. Because they work so well as one viewing, in my opinion. Like, episodes 2 and 3 work great together too, but episodes 1, 2, and 3 really work great as like this really good introduction of what we're gonna do with this season. But getting into 2 and 3, so episode 2 picks up after the events of episode 1, where Matt was unmasked by the TVA, not the TVA, the vigilante. Anti-vigilante task force was the anti-vigilante, the IFA or whatever, the anti-vigilante task force unmasked him in Cherry's apartment, but he was saved by Bullseye, who took them out with insane accuracy, even going as far as to take one of them out with two of them out with one shot. And it wasn't even just 2 headshots; it was 2 shots through the eyeball. One bullet went through one guy's eye socket, out the back of his head through another guy's eye socket. That's just some bullseye shit for your ass. And then just casually throwing a knife in there, ricocheting it off a wall, and it landing right in front of Matt. Easy as money. So Bullseye has entered the chat, and Bullseye, and this episode 2 picks up with Cherry being taken to the hospital. So Cherry didn't die. He did have a heart attack though, which, to be fair, at his age, he's probably in his 70s, getting the shit kicked out of you by a bunch of big ass dudes, and one punched you in the chest. Having a heart attack is not surprising, But in Matt's kind of finger reading the knife, and he figures out that Bullseye's the one who saved him and Cherry. Meanwhile, they're setting up this background plot line, something that you saw in the trailer, which is for one reason or another, Mayor Fisk, aka the Kingpin, is going to fight in some type of charity fight. Like, it's hard to really tell, like, how, when it's going to happen, but it's been kind of teased. It was teased in the trailers, and you see him fighting with his trainer. He's getting information about Bullseye, and the trainer says something to him, and clearly the trainer isn't trying to be mean or nasty. He's a boxing trainer. How those trainers think, how those trainers operate is to get you intense. It's like, you got to get you up, got to get your blood flow going, got to get you intense, got to get that going. Unfortunately, Kingpin isn't the type of guy that you can truly do those kind of training tactics on. And that guy ended up getting the shit punched out of him and smashed into a fucking window. But the episode goes on, and between Matt and Karen trying to figure out a way to get into Red Hook, trying to figure out what is he really doing there, trying to figure out a way to expose what's going on in Red Hook, because ultimately, if they can manage to do that, because ultimately, if they can manage to expose what's going on there, because while Red Hook is a free port, so to speak, it's still under law. It still has, it's still it still has the same laws as, it's just, I'm trying to remember what it is. It's like, what's the word I'm looking for here? If it turns out they're fucking hellholes bringing in illegal weaponry and shit, well, the government / the governor can step in and renounce its status as a free port, because it's not something that's just like forever. It's something that can be revoked, its status as a free port. So that's what Matt and Karen's real objective is. They're still looking for the captain or the first mate. Well, mostly the first mate, because we already know the captain is dead, who was on the boat, and that's sort of where their minds are. Meanwhile, Kingpin he's what's the word I'm looking for? He's feeling the pressure because somewhere between episodes 2 and 3, the governor actually finally shows up and starts to grill him. It starts to light a little bit of fire under Kingpin. And she starts to really come at him a little bit about, she obviously has more information about what was going on than we would have initially assumed. It's obviously making Wilson Fisk a little bit nervous, but not so much so that he's gonna make a move or anything. Once also they reintroduced White Tiger's niece from season 1, who was introduced in the show, and a lot of people say knows that White Tiger's niece becomes White Tiger in the comics. In fact, I said it in my in season 1, one of season 1's videos, that she's probably she's probably the most well-known version of White Tiger. So when some people got upset about White Tiger's death, first of all, White Tiger's death happened in the comics, in the same comic book with Matt Murdock defending him. Except in the comics, he was proven to be guilty and got shot, and in the show, he was proven to be innocent and got shot. But he still got shot, but also, she is the most iconic version of White Tiger. She's the one that people think about when you think of White Tiger. White Tiger has been portrayed by her for the better part of a decade now. But I digress. She's brought back into the story, and sadly, in a sequence that is very reminiscent of real life events, with a specific task force going after a specific group of minorities, so to speak, in the Hispanic community, in the Spanish Hispanic community, Mexican community, whatever you want to go with that. Her aunt / I guess, I don't know if she's her mom or what, but her aunt or mom, I forgot if that woman's her aunt or mom. It's been a while since I've seen season 1. But she gets taken into custody by the task force simply because she was trying to protect some boys who were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and these dudes just coming in like a bull in a china shop and then taking her away. It's crazy. Meanwhile, this whole BB report thing, which has been going on throughout the season, you see these little reports at the beginning of almost every episode, and they show all these people saying nothing but good things about Wilson Fisk. Well, secretly, BB has been, we find out that BB has secretly been, she's been the one filming these Mayor Fisk, proper, true story propaganda videos, saying her true opinion on what Fisk is doing, is revealing what's really going on with Fisk, leaving Daniel, Fisk's little right-hand man, to figure out who the fuck is doing this. And let's be honest, Wilson Fisk is pressuring the shit out of Daniel to figure this out, and it is making him nervous as fuck. But still, meanwhile, you got Bullseye going around killing people. He's stalking Vanessa. Bullseye's just straight up stalking Vanessa, which I love the fact that, it's so interesting that the show sort of, paints Vanessa in this, sympathetic light, but it's no, she killed Foggy, manipulated, Bullseye, and left him out to dry, and then tried to kill him. So yeah, she kind of got, and because throughout the course of episode 2 and 3, there's this thing that comes up with Vanessa where she starts talking to Fisk about maybe leaving this all behind and going off to their island. Apparently they own an island somewhere, going off to their island and just living happily ever after there. And it's no, you only want to do that because your Just Desserts is coming up, because you're scared you're gonna get what you deserve, so now you gotta run away. Like, now you wanna run away. That's basically what's gonna happen. I'm sort of hoping Vanessa gets hers, because at this point, it would be interesting to see a Wilson Fisk without her, although I can't imagine how he gets the power after this, because we all know he loses power at the end of this season. It's already sort of been confirmed. But I digress. And in all episode 2 and 3 leads to this amazing action set piece in 3. I mean, this prison set piece was awesome. It was awesome. It was, and in many ways, I would think, outside of the hallway sequence in the first Daredevil, I think this is probably the second best Daredevil action sequence in both Netflix and Marvel, because it's such an upgraded version in many ways of some of the things they did in the Netflix show. Now, sure, it's not a real one shot because they obviously have camera angles to make a cut, but the cuts are so smooth that you could believe it was a real oneer. And honestly, they're doing so much more with his Billy Club. They're doing so much more with having the camera follow the trajectory of the Billy Club and having the Billy Club come back. The way the camera's moving around the room. We get to finally see Jack Duquesne, who was introduced in Hawkeye, but in this show was the first vigilante put on trial in this insanely fucked up trial that was obviously rigged like a motherfucker. And it's like, it's so obviously rigged that it was insane in the membrane, dude. Like, that whole circumstances around that trial was just batshit ridiculous. But it shows how corrupt and how deep Wilson Fisk has his finger on the scale of justice. That is basically injustice. But regardless of which, that action sequence was amazing. It was dope. It was cool seeing the swordsman do swordsman shit. I hope we get to see him with his sword and him do more things. Although it does bring up the point, like, where's Kate Bishop? Because it does bring up the point that, like, there are certain characters that you are sort of surprised aren't here. First of all, they bring up the Punisher multiple times throughout episode, and particularly in episode 3, they bring up the Punisher multiple times, and it's like, we know that the Punisher is doing something because his special happens literally the next week after the show ends, and it's going to be in Spider-Man Homecoming. But it is weird that he isn't here. It's also weird, I would argue that it's weird that Echo isn't here. It's also here, as you would figure she would see this shit on TV and be like, I need to go and stop Wilson, I need to go stop my surrogate father from doing more harm. And she used to be in New York. And then it's sort of weird that Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, isn't here, as her and Jack seem like they had a good relationship by the end of the show. It does seem like she would have been like, I'm going to check on Jack and see if he's fine. But I digress, I understand. And it all ends in this crazy sequence where Kingpin kills all the fucking people on the boat who were working for him, and he's gonna blame it all on Daredevil. This was excellent shit. This is 10 out of 10 shit. See, episode 2 and 3 is 10 out of 10 shit. Loved it. Awesome. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the Comic Game Movie Show again. Please leave a like and subscribe. See you on the next one.